Snap to him on every play. His speed is. I think he was on the state 4x1 champion team his senior in high school. I mean, he was born fast, and it hasn't changed.
Manny, how much better is this defense now than it was beginning of the season? What are they doing?
Well, I think we understand. I think, we had to learn a new scheme, and we had to learn it in the SEC, which is not a very forgiving conference. So I think we've gotten a better understanding as the year has gone on. I know as coaches, we've got a better understanding of our players and what they can do. We went into the first game, a couple games of the season, we had no idea what we were playing with and how we'd be. So I think they understand us better, and I think we understand our kids better as the year's gone on.
And in general, was it just being more aggressive?
Yeah, that was a big part of it. We kept showing them at the beginning of the year our missed opportunities. We're a defense that's predicated on making negative plays, and we'd have a tackle for loss, and one guy would stop his feet and let the guy bounce out. The plays that the average fan doesn't notice, it was a 2-yard gain, and it seemed like it's a good play, but it could have been a -4. And the dynamic between 2nd and 8 and 2nd and 14 is so huge, and that's what we're based on. So I think as the year went on, I think they started seeing what we were selling.
KJ and Chris, you talked about them working well in tandem in those spots. I mean, has that gone as well as you hope?
Yeah, like the two of them, like I said all year, in any sport, defensively, to be stronger in the middle. And anything that occurs between the hash marks on the football field has to run between KJ Wright and Chris White. And not a lot of damage. We've not incurred a lot of damage in that area because of those two guys.
And as far as, KJ's versatility, in the passing game as well, is he maybe your best defender in that regard?
He has. We've asked KJ to do a lot of different things this year, partly because of his versatility and partly just because of what we have. There's some things that we're lacking that KJ might be he might be our best linebacker, but he also might be one of our best defensive ends. We have guys that unfortunately might be the best in a couple different roles, and you can't divide them up, unfortunately. So we've tried to move him around and use their versatility.
And he has played a little bit of end this year.
He has, on third down stuff.
Manny, how much of Mickey Andrews is in your defensive scheme?
That's how you were raised, you know what I mean? So, there's no question that Mickey's influence goes with you forever, even if it's not, even if it's not as much an X and O, just the way, if anybody ever looked at us play and said, they play, they run the ball like a Mickey Andrews defense. We don't do that yet, but if we ever did that, I know that'd be the highest compliment I can get.
Mickey told me one time that his defensive philosophy could be summed up in try to make sure the quarterback doesn't have a good time out there.
Yeah, we talk about stop the run and hit the quarterback. Usually if you do those two things, and didn't say stop and get this many yards, or just if you stop the run and continue to hit the quarterback, usually good things happen.
Talking about their quarterback, Denard Robinson, what's kind of the game plan to slow him down?
Well, we'll do what we do. We're going to run what we run, and it's all about gap control. And they do some pretty good things with their run game. And they're going to ask you the questions, and you have to have the answer for it. The issue with them is that if there's a play where you miss the answer, he's got a chance to go 80 yards because he's so fast. So the key is knowing our fits. Our kids know our fits, but we have such margin for error. It might be our depth. Bowl games are always worried about conditioning, the heat that might be around on Saturday. You might put a backup in. And again, all it takes is one guy to stick his nose to the left instead of to the right. He sees a seam. He's hard to catch once he gets going. The big key with him is don't let him get going. Once he gets going, I already know the outcome. I don't have to watch. Get the extra point team ready.
We were talking to Broomfield a minute ago. He said one of the big things is the play action because they are running offense. What are you telling your secondary about that?
Discipline. I think the key word is discipline. The teams that Michigan's put big numbers on gave up explosive plays in the run and the pass. The teams that generally made Michigan earn everything they got, made them go the long way down the field. They were able to hold them to smaller numbers on the scoreboard. So we that's who we are. That's not a stretch for us. We give up more yards when we do points, generally speaking, and our kids know our philosophy and they know what works usually to win.
When you turn on the film at the beginning of when you got the matchup and you put the guys in there, were you worried about the psychology of them when looking at some of those big plays and saying, oh man, and getting intimidated quickly?
No, it's good. You want that. First of all, nothing's going to intimidate us. We've played a laundry list of guys that all could have been invited to New York this year. So we won't be intimidated. But really what you want is you really want to make sure when you guys come back for a bowl game that they really feel challenged, because you're always worried about bowls with motivation. With us being new, our team is highly motivated, and then with us, what we have to face in terms of a top 10 offense in the nation, our guys are up for the challenge. That's what you want as a competitor. You want a challenge. So we didn't have to do a whole bunch of pounding on the table. All we do is put the film on, press play, and they knew what we're up against.
How tough is it to defend the run pass option?
Well, to me, what it does is the best way to defend it. I mean, even if you do everything right, there still creates a lot of one-on-ones. That's why they do what they do, and that's why they're good at what they do. So everyone on the field has to count. Everyone on the field has to tackle. And tackling is the other big concern with bowls because we haven't tackled the guy in 5 weeks. So those will be the things that we'll unfortunately all find out together is whether we're ready to tackle in one-on-one situations because they're gonna spread you out and they're gonna make that a one-on-one game. And if we don't win our one-on-ones, they can punish us.
Everybody's talking about him and Cam Newton, but is it more of a schematically maybe with Randall Cobb and what he does when he gets the ball behind
I think the type of person he's like Randall Cobb, but even a faster Randall Cobb, which is like a terrible nightmare. But yeah, I mean Cam Newton is just so giant, so big. However, the one for us, the similarity is that the number one thing we said when we played Cam Newton is we couldn't give up the explosive play. Auburn is an unbelievable football team at making explosive plays through the run and the pass. And I thought we held them to a small number because they didn't get big plays on us, and we'll have to do the same thing this week.
One more question, guys.
You guys have given up 30-plus points in the last 3 games. What do you think it's been? Is it missed assignments?
Last 3?
Yeah.
2 of the last 3. Blackbeard's only got 23 or whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry, 23. Gave up 30-something to Alabama. You've given up a lot of points in the last 3 weeks.
I think it's pretty obvious for our kids. It breaches our pillars of our belief of our defense. We gave up big plays. You know, we gave up big plays to Alabama. We gave up 3 big plays to Alabama. The Heisman Trophy winner from last year had 13 yards on 11 carries at halftime. But we gave up 3 big plays, gave him 21 points. And then we played Arkansas, who's got a Heisman-worthy quarterback, and we gave up some silly long touchdowns via the run and pass against them. When we don't give up big